Hello everyone, we will continue the topic IDOCs, and in this video we will study the concept of process code. And this topic is that much important in what sense? Whatever we did in the previous videos, it is of no use if we do not have a process code. So what is process code? Process code is used to process the IDOCs. Suppose you created the message type, IDOC type, segment type, inbound function module, port, partner profile. But if you are not processing the IDOC, is this of any use? Whatever we did, then there is no use at all. So what is process code? Process code is used to process the IDOC. Now the question comes, process code, yes, is used to process the IDOC. Then what is inside the process code which is used to process the IDOC? The answer is function module. Every process code has a function module which is used to process the IDOC. Now, we have two types of process code. First one is inbound process code, and the second one is outbound process code. Now, if you remember, we have two types of IDOC processes: inbound process, outbound process. If data is coming inside the SAP system, that is called as inbound process. If data is going out from the SAP system, that is called as outbound process. So for inbound process, we have inbound process code. For outbound process, we have outbound process code. Now, what is inbound process code and what is outbound process code? We will go into detail. Inbound process code will process the IDOC and then pass the data to the application. Outbound process code will take the data from the application and then pass it to the IDOC. What is inbound process code? It processes the IDOC, then pass the data to the application. We will understand this by our requirement itself. What is our requirement? This is our requirement. We want to migrate employee data into SAP system. It means this is our inbound process. Suppose for the first record, the IDOC number is 100 and this is the data of the IDOC, because we all know IDOC is a data container. So for IDOC number 100, this is the data. For IDOC number 200, suppose this is the data. For IDOC number 300, this is the data. For IDOC number 400, this is the data. Suppose for these four records, we have these four IDOCs, and this four IDOCs has these respective data. Now this data we need to store into employee table, which is in SAP system. Yes, this is our requirement. And you all know, you all created the function module for the same purpose. If I will go to the function module which we created, this is the function module. It means whatever the data is there, we need to pass the data to the function module. So how it will pass? It will pass through process code. So what process code will do? What inbound process code will do? It will process this IDOC number. Whenever it will process this IDOC number, this data will come. Yes, whenever this data will come, it will pass to the function module. Whenever it will process this IDOC number, this data will come, it will pass to our function module. Whenever this IDOC number will process, this data will come, it will pass to the function module. Whenever it will process this IDOC, this data will come and it will pass to the function module. So what is inbound process code? It is simply processing the IDOC. It is simply processing the IDOC, and then it is sending the data to the application. Application means it is sending the data to our function module, and inside the function module we have a logic to update the employee table. So what is inbound process code? It is processing the IDOCs. Whenever it will process the IDOCs, IDOC has the data, then that data will be passed to the application. Now, suppose we will go for vice versa, outbound process code. So what is outbound process code? Suppose we have a scenario, we want to send the employee data to the non-SAP system. It means data is going out from the SAP system. So it means firstly you need to fetch data from employee table. After fetching data from employee table, you will pass it to the IDOCs after that. So in case of outbound process code, you are firstly taking data, then you are passing to the IDOCs. After fetching the data, how that data will put to the IDOCs outbound? Yes, with the help of outbound process code only. So process code is very important, because without this, the processing of IDOCs will not even trigger. We cannot process the IDOCs at all. Now, the transaction code for the inbound process code is WE42. For the outbound process code, the transaction code is WE41. Now, we will go to the system and we will understand more better how this process code will help in our current requirement. Now, I will go to WE20 transaction code, which we have done in the previous video. If you remember, we expanded the logical system, and this is the partner number which we created. And we provided the message type and the process code. I will double click. This process code has this message type. Is this a inbound process code or outbound process code? This is a inbound process code. We pass the inbound process code. Now, this process code, if I will double click, is this process code has a function module attached? Yes, because every process code has a function module attached to it. You can go for separate navigation also. If I will go to WE42 transaction code, so I can do the same thing through WE42 also. WE42 for inbound process code. If I will show you inbound process code, we have same BAPI process code is there. And is this, we have the function module attached to it? Yes. Similarly, if you want to go for outbound process code, you can go to WE41 transaction code. So this is the transaction code for outbound process code. If I will go to any process code, is this the function module attached to the process code? Yes. Ultimately, this function module is helping us to process the item.